everybody. Thank you for coming in. You got Tammy here and me, Courtney. Thank you guys for coming to the show. I really appreciate it. Make sure you share us out and everything else. Look at that. Aw. Gears dropping the jars. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in, guys. We have Star all the way from India. Thank you so much for being here. Shadow Scout Sweet all the way from Sweden. Thank you so much. And we have Gear and Susie Jacobson. Thank you for coming in. Yesterday was Susie's birthday, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
What were you going to say?
Happy birthday, Susie.
Oh, awesome. So thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate it. Make sure you share us out. Give us a thumbs up. It's well appreciated. Hey, Mommy Bear. Oh, well, thank you. Do I know who Mommy Bear is? I don't know who they are. Well, thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it. I might have seen you around in different places. I might have. I know I was in Big Chaps last night for a little bit, and there was there's a lot of mommy bears. So I might have seen you around. I'm sorry if I don't remember you. And I have shared you out on Twitter and Facebook. Oh, well, thank you, Shadow. I don't even have Twitter, so that's awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. I just don't like it. I don't know. I know Garden State Gardener has Twitter and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about having all that stuff on my phone. So we'll see. We'll see in the near future if I expand that way.
I like it now in the last couple of months.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay. You were able to answer a few questions I had a few weeks ago. This is the second live I've been able to catch. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad we could answer your questions. I am not a canning guru by all means. I'm sure there's people out there that are way better at it and know formulas and can do stuff perfectly. I just know what I know. And then Tammy, she's awesome. She knows everything. So, we lost her. She is on her cell phone though. Yeah. She's in her car. Okay. So today's topic was non-acidic foods and why they are so important to pressure can non-acidic foods, because if you think about it, tomatoes are acidic, and you can always pickle stuff. Well, you need to be able to pressure can foods that are not acidic. So I'm waiting for Tammy to come back up here. Hopefully she can. And we'll get started. See what she's doing. What's going on? She's probably just having trouble with her phone. Okay, so what are a list? I have a list here, but what do you guys think are a list of non-acidic foods that you think that you would need to pressure can? And you can put that in the side chat if you want. Good evening. Yeah, it's good to see everybody. Sorry, sometimes it's evening. I'm sure it's evening in Sweden right now. And it's probably even evening in India right now, too. So, but if I do something at noon, then I can get like everybody in around the world as well. Yes, soups and chilies. And yes. I'm so sorry. I don't know where Tammy is. But yes, you could do soups and chilies. There is a rule of thumb when you're doing chilies and stuff like that when you're adding meat. Oh, it's 6:06 p.m. Yeah. There she is. There she is.
Sorry. It was my phone. It died. I'm on backup.
It's okay. So. Thank you. explain to Mama Bear what the rule of thumb is when you're doing chilies and soups that have meat in them.
If you're doing a soup, if it is 50% or more broth, you can do it for the soup time. If there's more than 50% solid contents, it has to be done for the longest time for that if this case meat or beans, it has to be done for the meat and bean time, which is 75 for pints and 90 minutes for the meat for quarts.
So that is the rule of thumb for if you're doing soups with meat in them. And there's a whole list of the non-acidic foods. I just closed it out because I'm an idiot. Hold on one second. There's a whole list, and I know most of them. Asparagus, beets, carrots, green and dried beans, peas, peppers, potatoes, pumpkin cubes, which I've done. By the way, pumpkin was probably, besides the prep, it was probably the easiest thing I've ever canned. Corn.
It's so versatile too as a canned ingredient.
Yeah. A lot of people, okay, there is an exception here when it says pumpkin puree cannot be safely canned. How do you feel about that, Tammy?
Well, here's the problem. If Libby's can do it and has done it for years, I can do it at home. They can't test it to tell me it's safe. Yet they can authorize Libby's to do it at the same time, temperature, and pressure that I do at home. And yes, I did verify that with the employee that works for the company. I mean, food scalds. The same food is going to scald. So this whole, they pressurize it faster or they steam it faster. Food spoils at the same time and temperature, whether it's in a commercial kitchen or in my kitchen. So personally, I feel comfortable doing purees. My purees are a little watered down anyway, because I always seem to find the pumpkins that got the most water in it. So mine never turns out as thick as Libby's anyway, so I'm comfortable canning mine at home. But they say you can't because they can't test it.
So if you want to try it at home, try it. Just obviously make sure that you're safe, that you smell it before you eat it, all that good stuff.
You're going to cook it again anyway, usually.
Yeah. If you like a thick pumpkin puree like Libby's, can it in the cubes, drain it, and then mash your pumpkin after you've opened it.
Yeah. I put mine in cubes. I haven't done anything with it yet. It's been on my shelf for like a year. I want to make pumpkin pie or something, or like, you know how they have that thing out where you mix it with cream cheese and then you use golden grams to dip it in?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I want to like make that out of it. Yeah.
You just have to then take the cubes, open the jar, and drain it, and then use it.
Yeah.
And then it's really thick. Oh, that sounds really good, though.
Let's tease again.
So things like peas and okra and carrots and stuff are not acidic. So it's really important that you either freeze or pressure can those. Because, yeah, by the way, bless you. Gary even said, bless you. Bless you, Becca.
It's Becca over here. We were supposed to be home by now, but when you travel with Becca, and Courtney knows this, it's like a little like Gilligan's Island. You're on a 3-hour tour that could be 3 hours, or it could be the rest of your life. You're never really sure which.
I never fall asleep in the car when I know somebody else is driving. I fell asleep when she was driving, so.
She's a really good driver, but we do seem to find a lot of things we want to see.
Here's the problem, though. If you ask my family, I am the worst driver ever. They all hate my driving, and I drive too fast, and I'm not careful, and I'm like, you guys are crazy. Because I dared drive 25 down the street that my parents lived on, and everybody else drove 15. And the speed limit's 25.
Okay, so Gary Gray man, Gil. All G's, sorry. Gil said they say that because they want to control you into buying commercial because they can't get under the table from commercial. And that is probably true. The Rebel way is you can can anything that is in the store that's canned. So if you see it in the store, more likely you can do it at home. You just got to find the recipe for it and find the way to do it. Go ahead, Tammy.
If they can sell it commercially and can it commercially, you can can it at home because you're using the same equipment. There's really
hi Howie, by the way. Hi, Howie. But yeah. Oh my God, she removed her hands from the steering wheel. Does that freak you out, Star?
It's okay, Star. We're parked.
Oh,
I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you live from the Sam's Club parking lot.
Well, it is hilarious. We are a goofy bunch. There, Mommy Bear. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. Okay, so the Amish can everything and no one dies. Well, that is true. You know, what are the cases of botulism? Tammy, you know the percentage. It's very low, right?
It is very low. And when they break it down to home canned foods, it's even lower. You're more apt to get it from something commercially canned than you are from home canned or from something. And the number one offender of botulism is, drum roll please, fermented seal fat or whale blubber in Alaska. And since I am not fermenting before I cook any seal fat, and I'm not licensed to hunt whale, I think I'm pretty safe.
Most of the stuff, the average person, unless you are Inuit and you live in Alaska at the northern tip and you eat seal eyes, most of the average person has a garden, and this is why they can. They can from the stuff in their backyard, or they're like every other person. They see all the discounts in the stores, like, you know, certain seasons, like, oh my gosh, it's asparagus season. I'm going to buy a bunch of asparagus and then I'm going to can it. So you're saving a buck by canning stuff that's on sale in the grocery store. So you're not going to find whale blubber at the grocery store. Maybe. I doubt it.
I mean, if I travel to Alaska, there is a remote chance that someone might share some with me, at which point I will can it, just to say I've done it. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, you know, when they send this fearmonger out there, they're not telling you that the chances of what you're doing is so much less. They're just quoting these numbers, which have the commercial and then the two actual incidents of botulism that I have seen advertised. One was a lady who water bathed her. They assume, because she's dead, she couldn't tell them, water bathed her potatoes, but then didn't cook them afterwards. And again, if you're doing something where you're water bathing a low acid foods, you're supposed to cook them, bring them to a boil, at least 5 minutes longer for higher altitudes before you then consume them. And the other case was the guy who had cooked some stew, left it on the stove for 3 or 4 days, came back and ate it without cooking it. Again, if you're going to be risky with your health and your food choices, try to cook your food before you eat it. It'll cut that risk down, way down. And then the third one they love to promote is this lady who decided to take up home canning. And she's like, oh, the poster girl right now of botulism. She, one, bought a canner and didn't read the manual. Two, I can't believe she did everything you're not supposed to do without reading the manual to tell her to make every single, and she goes through every single mistake she made. It's like, you know, you just saved yourself a lot of trouble if you'd just read the manual.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so I guess I'm giving my rebels a lot more credit that they're smart enough to read the manual, or get a canning book, or follow a recipe, even if it's
for
great
one,
grandma.
my canner didn't come. I got my canner from a woman in Oklahoma. She sent it to me. I never got a manual with it. However, I did enough research before I
you
can something in it. So
All American offers an online manual. They will email you a manual for your All American.
Really?
Yeah.
My big canner is a Presto, but I have a small All American with a peacock thingy.
But you can get a manual free online.
Yep.
Cool.
I mean, they're out there. So
they emailed me one when I was there last time, because they emailed me the original 1940 whatever one that goes with my canner.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, there's no reason not to, you wouldn't buy a car never having driven a car and not take a driver's education class, or you wouldn't try to repair your engine without reading a manual. You don't.
Hey, Moon.
Any new thing, you look at the instructions at least once, glance over them, something.
Yeah, and Gil said you can download the manuals for most canners, and you can. You can pretty much download the manual for anything. I went and found, because you can't just pressure can on any stove. So I went and found the manual for my particular stove to check and see if I could pressure can on it. So I can do that, and it's a glass top. What's up? But yeah, so my driver's education was Dad pulling over on the side of the road and saying, "We're not going home until you drive us there." Oh, nice. Okay, so we have talked about pumpkin. We have talked about a little bit about potatoes. That is a low acidic food. I've never canned okra. I don't like okra, so you won't probably catch me canning it. I have grown it in the past, and my husband eats it, but it's not my favorite. Green beans. I love green beans, and I would love to be able to can my own. Most of the problem with this stuff, you guys, is not the actual canning process. It's the preparation. Getting it clean enough and getting it prepared, chopped up into little cubes, or however you do it before you actually pressure can it. That's the preparation is the worst part.
Okra is something I add to other things. I don't can it by themselves. It's supposed to be very, very healthy, and the slimy part is the part that's really healthy for you.
Yeah,
but I really like it
for your
in
stomach.
soup.
Yeah,
I like gumbo. So.
I've never had a gumbo. Unless you would consider Zatarans or something like that. I don't really consider that a real gumbo.
No.
So no. I've never really had a real gumbo. However, I'm sure I would love it. But yeah, I just don't really like okra. Now, obviously, I've had it deep fried, and everything is better deep fried. So
okra is good.
Where did I put my wallet?
I'll eat okra raw, fried, roasted, pickled, and stewed. See, that's just like a Southern thing too. If you were raised in the South and you were raised on okra, okra is just a thing of the South, and everybody eats it. Everybody, like when you go to a restaurant. By the way, in South Carolina, they have a restaurant called the Lizard Thicket, and it's really good. But they have like things like okra and stuff on their menu, from which I just wasn't a fan of. So yeah, if you're raised in the South, okra is probably your number one vegetable. If I eat raw okra, just chew 3 times and swallow. Keeps it from getting too slimy. Yeah.
Good to know.
Very
See, I
good.
ate it a lot as a child because we were snowbirds. We'd live in Michigan in the summer and Florida in the winter.
Yeah. Another well, I can't even talk. Aesthetic foods are beef, mincemeat pie filling, seafood, wild game. All those are low acids. So you have to pressure can them for the time. There is no like in between time. There is no half the time. You have to follow the rules on that according to meat rules when it comes to canning. Why is that, Tammy?
Because that is the time and the pressure, or water bath, the time at that heated intensity that will kill the majority. And notice I didn't say all of the bacteria in your food. The majority of the bacteria that cause foodborne illnesses.
Yep. Have you canned asparagus before?
Oh, I love pickled asparagus.
Pickled asparagus.
I'm not a big fan of pressure canned asparagus. If you pickle it, you can water bath it and it stays crunchy. I like crunchy asparagus. But you can water bath it. It just seems to me that it gets a lot mushier than I like. And I like fresh asparagus. Oh, I love fresh asparagus. My 12-year-old self would not believe this old lady about that, because I got into a knockdown, drag out, shove the spoon in my mouth fight with somebody that I was going to try asparagus, and I would not try it. I didn't eat anything that was green like that. Cooked. I didn't like it cooked. I liked it raw. I still love it raw.
Yeah, I love asparagus as well. I just have to have it cooked because I'm not going to eat it raw.
No. Just chomp on it like a apple.
Interesting. Sorry, you guys. I'm still like, I am getting choked up because I still kind of have a sinus thing going on, and it's quite annoying.
It's not the entire day, King Poopa. It's only 4 hours, 3.5 to 4 hours, depending on which Amish person you talk to. It's only 4 hours over a hot, and you get such a facial. Your skin is all, steamed as well when you're over the water bath.
Love that in the summertime, just.
Yeah, in the middle of summer, August, 80.
It's 80 degrees. I thought I'd just water bath this for about 4 hours, and.
But if you don't have a pressure canner, that's what you got to do. In some countries, every other country except Canada and the USA does that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've never done like the sweet corns and stuff like that. I can't eat corn. Although, I keep saying I can't eat corn. I did have corn the other day. My father-in-law and his wife, we went over there Sunday and they cooked us an Easter dinner, which we didn't get a chance to go down for Easter because my husband had to work. So we had an Easter dinner and they had corn, but it was fresh corn from actual corn on the cob. And it was real small. It was like chopped up kind of. And I still have not had any issues with eating that. So yeah, I'm kind of happy about that. I'm like, well, maybe I found a corn that I can actually eat if it's just chopped up really fine.
I have been boycotting corn except for sweet corn for like the last 10 years. I don't eat corn. Not for health reasons. Not for direct health reasons, but because of the things it is sprayed with that cause health issues. I don't want to take a risk.
Well, there's just like issues with corn just in general. I mean, technically we aren't supposed to eat it. My uncle from Germany always he never ate corn. He'd always be like, "Das for cows."
Yeah.
So, he would never eat corn either. But that was for completely other reasons, not for health reasons.
I've really tried. I the only thing left is corn syrup, and I'm really trying to limit the corn syrup too.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't have anything with corn syrup in it, or I don't buy corn syrup. I can't say that I'm 100% corn syrup free because they sneak it everywhere. And, you know, I really don't, I am not a health fanatic. I don't have time to read everything that's on the back of every jar that I buy. I don't have time for that.
I have to.
Yeah.
The stuff they put in it could kill me. So
yeah,
I actually,
allergic to a lot of stuff.
I have to because of my health. But I just feel better not having eaten the corn. But it's also a political thing with me more than a physical thing.
Yeah.
I'm being very politically correct as I say this. But...
It's so funny. My Uncle Jimmy, he just passed away over the summer, but my Uncle Jimmy would seriously eat a dozen ears of corn in one sitting. Like he moved to Florida, and he always said, you can't buy good ears of corn in Florida.
Oh, you can't.
And Garden State Gardener, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. And he would always say, oh, you can't. And so he'd come up here, and we have a farm just down the way, and he would buy my mom would buy a bunch of corn and stuff knowing that he'd come up here, and he would literally eat a dozen ears of corn in one sitting and a half a pizza. We have a pizza place up here that's famous. It's called Fiesta Pizza. And he's like, you can't find pizza like that in Florida. So he would get, Blaze Pizza. They have one in Kent. I'm going to have to check it out.
Make your own. Don't even mess with anything else on the menu. Just order the make your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he would, by the way, this pizza, when you get it, it's like unreal. It is so thick. I'm sure when they pull it out, they have to push it back in for a little bit because it probably doesn't get cooked all the way. Hey, Vitra, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you.
Yeah, we had to come to the big city today. I had to get my finger x-rayed, and
what's wrong?
I don't know. I took a fall in a gopher hole when I was out walking the other day. So it could be that I broke it, or it could be arthritis. So we're going to get, my x-ray vision just isn't working as much as it used to. So we're going to get it x-rayed.
Aww.
That's a joke because 4 people have called me this week and asked me if they broke a bone. Like my x-ray vision works over the phone. So apparently people think I have x-ray vision, so that's where I'd explain it. It's funnier when you understand the history.
That's funny. Next time something happens to me, I'm like, Tammy, what is this? Can you see this here? What is this?
At least it's in my scope of my former practice, when they call me for things that I didn't used to do in my scope of practice for 23 years. And it's like, you would not call your orthopedic surgeon to answer your gynecology problem. Why are you calling me?
Now that's a little much. I'm not going to call you about my gynecological problems. That's just that's like crossing the line. I'm like, I love you. You don't need to know that part's about me.
Yeah, when people hear nurse, they just want to ask me all these questions, and it's like, ooh.
I got to
You don't need to know that stuff.
Yeah. This looks like Dustin would like.
Oh.
It's street taco flavored cashews.
Yum. Did you get that at Walmart?
Sam's.
Oh.
Just went into Sam's. So
nice. I've got this rash. Will you take a look at it?
No. I'm retired. I don't do anything, and I don't want to talk about anything like that. But it's like, seriously, I dealt with a very specific area when I was in nursing, and I did not do pediatrics. I didn't do women's health. I didn't do those everyday things. And it's like, they hear nurse and they're like, oh, let me ask you this question. It's like, I was a specialist as a nurse. I wasn't a general practic. I didn't do general things. I did a specific area.
Yeah. Hey, Ginger, thank you for coming in. Thanks to all my members for coming in. Thank you, Garden State Gardener, for pushing out a membership. I really appreciate that. I am looking for members. It's really tough right now. It is only 99 cents a month, and you get a lot more for that. So consider being a member. Consider keeping your membership with me. There's just going to be a lot of cool stuff going on in the summer that I'm going to have members only stuff to do. So lots of fun.
It's less than the membership for a year is less than the price of a pizza.
Yeah, it is.
It is
less than a McDonald's meal for sure. Now, can't believe how much that costs.
We did that last night after the fair because I wouldn't pay $9 for an elephant ear. $9 for one elephant ear, and it wasn't even as big as they were for when I was a kid. It was like
they used to hang over the plate.
No, it was like way inside the edges of the plate, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'll go home and make my own elephant ears.
Yeah, I do love elephant ears. It's been a long time since I had one.
I have a recipe.
Yeah,
I can make them at home.
Nice.
There's a story though. My sister wanted elephant ears one year, and she's like, I'm not waiting until whenever the fair is to have elephant ears. So she tried to make them. She started her kitchen on fire.
Oh.
And then she tried a couple other times and started her kitchen on fire.
What the heck is she doing?
After the third, you'd have to understand, like, her electrical is a little wonky in her house. And she had a really old electric stove and wasn't using like a deep fryer. She was just using a pan of oil on the stove.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
Speaking of pans,
dangerous.
Yeah. So she, After the third time, her husband banned her from ever making elephant ears again.
So speaking of pans,
hold on one second, Tammy. Vidra said that today was a sad day for me. My dad passed away on the 20th. He was only 68 years old. So I'm so sorry, Vidra, about your dad. I completely understand where you're coming from. My dad died at 65. So it's really, really rough. So I'm so sorry that happened. And prayers for you. And I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Tammy. Go ahead.
Hard when they die young.
Yeah.
That's young.
Yes.
It's still a tough one for me to deal with, and it's been 8 years. So it's really rough when you lose somebody that young. So I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. What were you going to say, Tammy?
I picked up another piece of cast iron.
Oh,
it's a Dutch oven with feet, and then when you flip the lid over, it's got the little bumps inside. It's really cute, and it's nice. A big one.
It's for me. I've already laid claim to it. She's not getting it.
I paid a whole $3 for it.
Wow.
I'm going to season it. I'm going to lick it, and it's going to be mine. It's all going to be good.
Yeah, you really got to clean it before you season it. That's why I got it for $3.
I know that. But it's really not in that bad a shape.
No, I mean, it's not rusty.
It's a little rusty, but it's all like
surface.
It's all like just sitting around rust, not like
it's been
It's not been like sitting in water rust.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
It's more like the brown oxidation rust.
And then I got a little bean pot with a handle and no lid for $1.50. Cast iron.
Yeah. Ginger Ninja sticks out her tongue and says, "Claimed."
Ginger Ninja licked it. She claimed it.
I don't know that I would want to lick it at this point. So
yeah.
I almost ordered a slice of pizza yesterday at the boardwalk, and right before I said a word, I walked away $7 for one slice plus tax. That is ridiculous, especially since a pizza here is $20. For one slice is $7. Holy crap! And pizza in New Jersey is supposed to be good.
Well, you can get a Little Caesars for what? $5. $5.
I mean, it's not the greatest, but
it's not great pizza, but it's still $6 for, and you can get a Speedway pizza for $7.
Thank you, Garden State Gardener, once again for sharing the love and supporting my channel. And Vidra, thank you for being a member. I hope you get a lot of knowledge from my Back to Basics series that I have on there. Hey, Howdy Garden. Good afternoon.
Hi, Glenn.
But yeah, so pressure canning is a must for low acidic foods. When you have high acidic foods like jams and stuff like that, you can water bath them, and you don't need to pressure can tomato sauce. So just an FYI, you don't need a pressure canner for that. You can put that directly in a water bath canner and can it.
Tomatoes and apples both have enough acid that you can actually open kettle them if they're plain without other vegetables with them.
Yep. You can get a medium-sized pizza at Domino's for $7. That's right. By the way, you guys are making me want pizza like really bad. That's like my downfall. Like, I love pizza, and I don't care typically where I get it from either. I mean, I've had some bad pizzas, but I eat it anyway.
there's a pizza place around us that's like $30 for pizza.
Wow.
And I'm like, yep, nope, not anymore.
Yeah, that Fiesta place that I was telling you guys about, it takes a minute for us to get there, but when you're done and you pay for 2 pizzas, it's $68.
Ooh, yeah. This place doesn't even do dine-in anymore. That's the saddest part. No, because I have my slip shut off.
Yeah, I had one piece of pizza in New York City when I went, and it was delicious. I can't remember where I had it from, but Chicago by far has the best pizza I've ever had in my life. I would go to Chicago, hands down, and have pizza. I would drive. Chicago's 6 hours away from me, so I would literally drive to Chicago to get that pizza because it's that good.
I had a thin crust pizza in Paris, and after I was in high school, and it was like, it had a tomato and an anchovy on it, and it was still the best pizza I've ever tasted, probably because I was so sick of non-American food.
Yeah.
That I would take anything that was closely resembled it.
They say it's because of the water that pizza tastes really good in the area. I don't know. I just think people on the way East Coast and like in New Hampshire and stuff, they just know how to make pizza. Like the New England states, all of that. Like, I had a really good pizza when I visited the Cosmics in New Hampshire as well. Like it was on the beach. It was like a really good pizza place. Real it was actually, I think they were Greek. I don't think they were Italian. Like, they made some really awesome pizza. And so I just really think that area of the country just knows what's up with pizza. They just know.
Yeah. Greek food is really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
As long as they leave the black olives out of it.
Of course, I'm into Greek.
What?
I'm into Greek dessert. Just give me all the baklava. Give me the baklava, all the baklava.
I am a huge cheesecake person. So when we went to that place on the beach, I don't even remember what it was called. They had also a pizza place and like a bakery in there. So they were making breads along with the pizza and their desserts, right? So I got cheesecake and I was in heaven. Like pizza and cheesecake? What? It was the best. It was so good.
That's the kind of restaurant we need to open up. A pizzeria / cheesecake bakery. There is a place right here where the town we just left that has the best cheesecake. And it's Max's dad's recipe. And they actually opened a factory to make cheesecakes for the restaurant. And you can buy them from the factory.
Honestly, I don't even know what my favorite cheesecake is. I love stuff with a fruit puree on the top. Like, I love that. So if there's like cherries or strawberries or blueberries or raspberries puree on the top, just on a regular plain piece of cheesecake, I'm all about that. And people are all into Oreo and chocolate swirl or whatever. I'm not into that. I just like a good plain piece of cheesecake with some puree fruit or something on the top. So,
How to garden? I need directions on how to get there. Can you PM those to me?
baklava cheesecake. I can't even imagine.
Wherever they make a baklava cheesecake, that's where I need to go.
Yes.
Where is CR? We're back to talking about food.
I know.
Should be in here.
Where's CR when you need him?
I know. How can I make him hungry if, you know?
Exactly.
That's not what you see every day.
No, that's interesting.
Do you have to pressure can cheesecake?
No, you steam it in the oven. But if you put it in a canning jar, you can just bake it in the jar and then put the lid on when you bring it out.
I literally thought that read Tampon Springs, Florida. I didn't read it correctly, but it's Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Okay, I'll just call my cousin and have him send it to me. He's not that far. He sends my other cousin, oranges. He should just send me some baklava cheesecake.
I have a ton of family in Florida. A ton.
Cousin Bobby, if you're watching this, I need baklava cheesecake. Can you send it overnight?
Mrs. Cosmic is in here. She said, I've been lurking, trying to get ready for work, but that was what us New Hampshires call beach pizza. It's the place itself is called Triple E's. That's right. Best pizza and desserts around. Yes, it really was the best pizza and dessert ever. It was so good. That's exactly what you want when you're on a vacation. It's perfect. It's perfect. Thanks for watching, Mrs. Cosmic. Appreciate it. Yeah, delicious. So, anybody have any questions about non-acidic foods when you're pressure canning? You understand why you have to pressure can them, and that is because they have low acid, so they don't preserve. And the worst part about this kind of stuff is the fact that the preparation is what makes it difficult. Not the actual pressure canning itself, but preparing the food before you put it in the jars. You didn't have lobster tail.
It's Friday.
We're making CR very hungry. Can you can potatoes and apples together? Can you can potatoes and apples together?
Yes.
I don't know why you'd want to.
You would have to do it for the potato time, but yes, you could do it.
Oh, there's a good pooper trooper right there. Chris is pooping. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for listening while you're on the pod. I appreciate it.
Oh, that is amazing, Garden State Gardener.
Left my house. Yes.
They would deliver them.
He was way over the fucking line. Sorry.
No swearing.
You're killing me.
I'm sorry. I had a semi coming over at me at going 75 down the freeway.
That's okay.
It was in my lane.
You put apples in your potato salad?
I have heard of that.
I don't know if I would like that. I mean, I would try it to see if I would like it. The combo does not seem like I'd want to eat it, but you know.
There was a girl I used to work with that used to put mayonnaise in her taco salad, and like I ate her taco salad. I'm like, oh, this is really good, and she's like, oh, and then she's telling me like what she puts in it, and she puts mayonnaise in it, and I'm like, what? It was really, really good.
It probably made
But
it
she
creamy.
put mayonnaise in it.
Yeah, I want to go back to New Hampshire to visit the Cosmics, but when I do, I need to like lose 30 pounds so I can gain 30 pounds. Because we ate constantly and we had the best food. Oh, it was so good. So good. Just threw up a little bit thinking about apples and potato salad. Yeah, it's a little odd combo, but I mean, I would at least try it once to see if it was a good combo. My dad was always one to put Miracle Whip on his grilled cheese.
Oh my gosh, if you take Swiss cheese and a tomato and a little bit of ham and you put mayonnaise on your bread on the bottom, like inside the sandwich, put a slice of tomato and some ham and some Swiss cheese. Oh my god, this is so good.
Okay, I have to chime in with somebody said they were eating somebody's taco salad. Yes. Yes, Mrs. Cosmic. Oh, Mr. Cosmic. Pervert. You pervert. Seriously, I can't. I'm really overwhelmed right now with the people that I have in my side chat. Thank you so much for being members, for one. And thank you so much for coming into the show this afternoon. I made tacos yesterday, and I'm totally getting pizza for lunch. Sorry, King Poobah, but that's just the way it's going to go. But yeah.
Hey, Courtney.
Yeah.
Is that Mexican restaurant still open?
Oh yeah, we go there. That is so funny. Okay, so they know Fred because Fred loves enchiladas. Okay. So, my mother-in-law and her husband took Fred there. They recognized Fred, but they didn't recognize them. They're like, who are you guys with this kid? We know this kid. We just don't know you. It was really funny. But we take Fred there all the time, and we get him the enchilada beans and rice, and he just chows down. That is his thing. He loves chips and salsa. Like that, he's just all about it. Hey, old ways. Love you, girl. I hope everything's going okay for you. I love you. Thank you for coming in.
Ooh, tamales.
But yeah, now that I'm talking about New Hampshire and stuff and their food, like the seafood, like anytime you'd order shrimp out, I would order shrimp and fish, like, because, you know, that's where you want to eat the shrimp and fish. And it's so good. So good.
Yeah, and it's probably a lot fresher than what we get inland.
Oh, yeah, completely. It was a different taste. Yeah.
I'm sure. Come on and figure out what the heck you're doing.
You like to see food? Yeah, there's nothing better than some fresh shrimp. And I had shrimp linguine when we were out that one time, and it was like I could not eat anymore. I was freaking miserable. I think that's why I didn't drink that much at your house, because I was so full. I had like a couple beers, and I swear if I would have had any more, my stomach would have imploded. Like, I was so miserable, but it was so good. I couldn't stop. It was so good. Oh. I'm glad that he's doing okay.
Swede, he got you. CR, he got you.
Yep, he totally got you. All right, you guys, that was the low acidic foods and why you have to pressure can them. So I hope you guys like that and can take a little bit of that information in. Do you have any canning questions whatsoever about pressure canning, canning in general? You can go ahead and ask in the side chat and we will answer them for you. I was testing him. Yeah, it's been cold here, so I haven't had today I need to do some kind of video and push it out. I just haven't had a chance to. It's just been cold. Yesterday was the first really warm day, and it was only 54 degrees. So, how many cans do you panelists own? What do you mean cans? Like jars or pressure cookers? Because I only have one big one.
I own more jars than I can count, but I imagine it's somewhere around 4,000 to 5,000 jars total.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us to feed, and I'm hungry.
Exactly. And I like to can a lot of different things. And I've always canned a lot. And my aunt gave me all of her jars. And then my mother gave me all of her jars. And I've collected jars that I like as well. So I have quite the jar collection.
I read that as panty list. Yeah. Okay. Thousands over here in the crawl space there. The barn there and on the porch there, everywhere. Yep. I have a ton as well. I got a really good deal on some Atlas jars. I got 2 whole boxes full of them for $10, like at a flea market. So they're square on the bottom. So I like those. So I use those quite a bit.
I love the old Atlas jars. They're heavier. They're tempered glass, which if you're buying new jars now, they aren't tempering the glass anymore. So, yeah, I have to have old jars.
Yeah. You know what makes me mad, though? Is that people think that canning's so easy, and they want whatever you got. Like, oh, can I have some of your sauce, whatever? And then they don't give you back your jars.
Oh, yeah. I tell them I will give you this one, but if you don't return the jar, you're never getting anything else.
Yeah.
Like I'm straight up, no, this is it. You don't give me back my jar. But then I have people who actually bring back more jars than I give them.
But yeah, don't take my jars because my jars are, now they're worth money. Like, that's my jar.
Yeah.
Don't take it. Oh, the old way says she's a jar Nazi.
I was at a garage sale this weekend. They were selling the jars for $1.50 and $2 a piece.
Wow.
No lids, no things, just the jars. And they weren't even the good old-fashioned heavy glass ones. They were newer ones.
Hey, nature growers. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. When Chris's aunt found out that we had a garden, she started shipping them up from Ohio to us. And yes, Tammy, we will hunt you down if you have one of our jars, and no soup for you again. No soup for you.
No soup for you. I love that episode of Seinfeld.
That's probably the only episode of Seinfeld I've ever seen.
Oh, CR. That is the best one yet. He will return Tammy and Corky's jars with seeds because they sprout his interest.
Aww.
CR, you're so cheesy, but I love it. Yeah, I don't like when people take my jars or think that it's just, oh, can I have this? No.
And I have certain jars that I only put certain foods in, and those foods cannot go outside of my house. Like that jar will never leave my house. This jar was my grandmother's. It's never leaving my house.
Yeah.
So no matter how much you want my apple butter, you're not getting it in that jar.
Oh, that sounds good. The chicken Tuscan sandwich. Oh, by the way, Bob Evans used to have a Tuscan chicken salad that was to die for. And they took it off their menu, and now all they have is that barbecue chicken salad or whatever. But that Tuscan chicken salad was the bomb, and you got this balsamic vinaigrette to put over top of it. It was literally the best thing I had ever eaten. It was so good, and it's no longer on their menu. Yeah, I don't can for other people, so don't take my jars. Oh, that's a good way there. Cosmic cultivators. And by the way, how are your chickens? Did you get the chickens in that coop already, or did you just make the coop? Now I can't remember. But let's see, it's getting to be about an hour in, and yeah, we already had the jar conversation, so I'm not giving out my jars.
Oh,
It's not happening. I even buy specialty jars when I'm out somewhere. Like if I see that they have like a 4th of July jar, or like those little jelly jars that are kind of decorative, like I buy that kind of stuff. I don't want people taking those. So I paid a lot of money for that.
they just came out with one with a bee on it. It's on my Amazon wish list. I want the bee jars.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
We just finished the coop, kind of. We have to do some painting. We will be getting about 16 chickens by next Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Cool. We are picking up chocks. Hopefully order chicks Monday so I can spend 2 days with them before I go back to work. That makes sense. When I can for others, they already know they are paying for everything. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Chicks, I don't know what a chalk is, but autocorrect likes that word. Okay, so it was chicks, not chalks.
That's another word for rooster in English, as opposed to American English.
Better watch your chalks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I bought those. I have like all those little decorative things. I even have some with like the American flag, like on them, like those little pints. I have some with a star and a like American flag and whatnot. And like people aren't taking those jars.
Nope.
All right, you guys, it's getting close to 1 o'clock here, so I'm going to go ahead and shut down. I want to thank you guys for watching today. I hope you got some kind of education out of the Blue Ribbon Canning Show. I think next week's topic, I already had something in mind, and I'm going to talk about hot pack or raw pack. I thought that would be kind of important to talk to people about. So next week, we're going to be talking about how to hot pack and raw pack our jars. So it's going to be a really awesome show. I'm going to be on, let's see, it's Sunday. I'm going to be on Sunday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can always pop in at that time. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure, to watch some of my videos, or even be a member of the channel, because it's fun. 99 cents a month. And y'all have a great night or day, and we will see you Sunday night. Bye, guys.